Thank you for coming.
What a nice introduction. That's got me. That now I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. What a lovely introduction. Thank you so much. And that's really what I'm going to talk to you about today. My shop in Woodstock is called The Kitchen. And it's a tiny little eatery that for the last few years has become really popular. We opened our doors in Woodstock in 2009, not much fanfare. You know, our projections were bleak. You come to Woodstock to have your car audio fitted or to get some meters of fabric or to score drugs. But you certainly don't come to Woodstock to eat. So we thought, look, worst case scenario, the shop can be like a front for our catering business. And we'd put out some salads, and we'd make love sandwiches because we'd been making those for a while, and we'd do some treats. And so people had been like knocking on the door and saying, "When are you opening? You know, when are you opening?" And we thought, hey, this is quite strange, but you know, we were really very nervous. And we opened, and then we had our array of salads, and we were ready to make our love sandwiches, and everything was looking fabulous. And the first people that came through the doors were a couple from, I imagine, from one of the galleries across the road. And she was quite teary and sad. And the guy that she was with was trying to comfort her, and you could see he was really kind and really attentive. And I realized this was not the moment to be showing off with the salads. You know, this was not the time. I realized what we need to do here is to make a pot of tea and to administer a lemon squash. And what I realized is that I love to serve people. This is my thing. And I realized I can connect with people through food. This was my power. This was what I could do. I could touch people profoundly. I could console them. I could inspire them. I could seduce them. And it was the most incredible thing. And it came out of this one relationship. I was focusing in on one person at a time. So when you stand in front of me and I am about to make you a love sandwich, who's had a love sandwich? Some people have had love sandwiches. So when you stand in front of me and I'm making you a love sandwich, typically there's usually a little interrogation. I'm asking you about the day and where you come from and how you're feeling. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reach into your heart. I'm trying to address what your needs really are. I'm trying to find out where you're at. Are you needing kind of warm, comforty things, which I'm imagining could be chicken, our grilled chicken, it could be a slice of grilled aubergine. You're wanting something warmer. Are you wanting something cool and crispy? Are you wanting something to invigorate? How has your day been? But in that little moment that you stand before me, I am ready to pour out for you. And I am looking at you. It's a kind of a deep regard. It's a special moment. It's like the moment in which I get to ply my craft. It's kind of like an act of devotion. There's like a little quiet moment in which we do that. And I think we're kind of starved of that. We kind of tend to dilute our thing by trying to make things for like too many people. You know, we're trying to make a generally accepted thing that will make many people happy at one time. And what we're actually really wanting to do, and where the power really is the one person. So last week sometime, I think, I saw Lauren at my shop. And I came to sit next to her, as I like to do. And she was having one of our iced coffees. And she said, "Oh, I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting sweetness. I wanted sweetness. But I wasn't expecting this." And I realized, that's exactly what I love to do. I want to go straight to the pleasure zone. I'm not making an iced coffee that is a generally going to be marketed and commercialized iced coffee. I just want the iced coffee to touch Lauren. I just want to blow her fringe back. Do you see? So another way we make food to touch people is, what I try and do is to help other people believe that they can do this thing too. Because of course I can't make, so much food for so many people. But if I have other people believing with me that they also have this power to touch people, this is a great thing. And it's also a very empowering thing. So at the kitchen from our tiny little shop, as you would see, I have 5 cooks and lots of other people who make food too. But none of my 5 cooks have been trained professionally. They all have just been working at the kitchen. But they have all taken on something of the art that we create every day. And they have beginning to understand, and actually I think they've pretty much got it, that they can make something beautiful that has the power to touch people. And better still, collectively, they understand that they have the power to really move people with flavor, to almost bring people to tears with the flavors that they create. And it's a very empowering thing to believe that you can make something beautiful and that you can make something that tastes so fabulous. And it's all of us together doing it, making all these flavors. That's where the wow factor is. One of my best things is when the shop is completely pumping at lunchtime. And there are people out the door, and there are people jostling for seats, and I'm trying to accommodate, the ladies from Constantia and from the Atlantic seaboard, and I'm trying to sort of evict the regulars, and things are crazy, and everybody has their hands full, and there'll be a guy sitting there with his plate in front of him, and he's just having a moment. Just having a moment with all his flavors, and it's a very special thing. And for me, that's the biggest kick, because there's been a little space that's been created by all these people that this one person is in. Now, there are many places that you can go in Cape Town now. I mean, have you guys noticed the amazing places to eat in Cape Town? We are spoilt for choice. It's a wonderful time in Cape Town right now. And there are many places that you can go and you can have one fabulous thing on your plate. But at the kitchen, you can have many fabulous things on your plate. So for many people, this is scandalous. It's just scandalous. There's just too many flavors. But in Woodstock and maybe in the Cape, we declare this is how we roll, We love where these flavors are sitting next to each other. We love how they're showing each other off. There's kind of a bit of compliment, kind of a little competition, and how is it that this kind of paprika-y hummus is so nice with the egg fried rice, and how is the how is this beetroot salad working with these mung beans? Wow, you know. And we are also beginning to see in creating the space where we are going to the heart, we are beginning to create a space where we're saying, hey, we are all these flavors. We can have them on a plate. They're quite distinct. There's nothing like a fusion. Don't do that swear word with me, you know. They're all quite distinct, and each thing has integrity, and each flavor is a pure flavor. You know, the broccoli is all the broccoli wants to be when it grows up, you know. And you know, the zing of that fennel and red onion fig salad is that's what it wants to be. So you can have all these flavors sitting next to each other. And I suppose, you know, in a country that is still kind of mired in its brokenness and its history, and in our crazy desire sometimes to want to categorize things. This is our legacy that we have. We want to categorize. We want to say South African flavor is bobotie. No, it's not. South African flavor is pap. It's not. Is it a cook sister or is it a cook sister? You know, we're desperately trying to categorize. I say we are all these things. We're all the sadness and craziness and joy and hope and possibility. We're all these things. So how do you make things that go straight? You reach for the one person. You reach and you listen and you look for that opportunity for an act of devotion. It's just the one person. Then you help other people believe that they can also touch people by making things that are beautiful, by making things that celebrate beauty. And then you possibly also create a space where people have a new understanding of their own identity, where we celebrate all the things that make up who we are. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karen. I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Where can we start? In the back. I'm coming. Can you please speak in the mic as we're recording from it?
Just very struck by the attitude of your staff when I come in. It's a lot of people to motivate and a lot of people to get into an idea that will obviously inspire them to have that attitude all the time. They're working hard, they're not the boss. How do you maintain that attitude? Do you do these motivational speeches every morning? Yeah, I'd like to know.
I suppose it's going to sound like a bit cheesy, but I suppose if I'm honest, I'm kind of making people believe in my love. You know, so there's such an overwhelming conviction for the person. So, okay, we're gonna just you and me here now. So you know the shop is really busy and everybody has things to do. So every day in the kitchen is this little dance, you know. It's kind of like the ballerinas in the wings, stretching, slicing avos, slicing tomatoes, getting chicken ready, stacking honey mustard sausages. And so there's this kind of like this pace of what we do. And then the people start coming in, you start coming in, you know, kind of around 11:30, and it starts getting really hectic. My thing, and I kind of warn all the people who work with me up front, is that my thing is for the people at the door. The people are the thing. Because we have this community of people who come and eat with us nearly every day, there's serious commitment. It's not just, we're not like cool for school, not too cool for school. I say we are nerdy in the way that we are like aggressively into the people. And so what I say to my girls is, okay, you see the blackboard there? That's just to confuse people. That's just to make them ask questions. When you see the inquiring look, this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity to help people because you want to engage with people. This is our distinction, is that we are seriously going to make something fabulous for you. We can do anything for you. We can, if it is that you require peanut butter on your sandwich, we will do it. It'll take some discipline and it'll take, a little bit of submission on our part. But we will do that. And I think there's this, what I think happens is that people get the joy. They get the joy that they have done something lovely for someone. And so when they see that enough, they tune into it, and that's what they want to do. And sometimes I do have to, whip a little bit and say, okay, there are people there. Have you called that person? You called them, But I think it is that kind of belief in the power to wow, and pride. There's kind of a pride, like this is what we do, and we can only do it together. So, does that answer your question? In 2011, November, we made a book. And we called it A Week in the Kitchen because we were thinking of that pace that I was telling you about, of the performance. You see, the skirt doesn't allow me to do my ballet moves. But we considered a kind of regular day in the kitchen, and we thought, a week in the kitchen. The publishers were like, no, 7 days. We were like, no, a week. And what we were wanting to capture was just the pace of that day and the kind of things that happen in the kitchen in a week. I was so lucky. Now you guys are going to be terribly jealous. But once in your life, you get to work with fabulous people, and it's a creative relationship second to none. It's kind of like your soul creative peeps. And those peeps from my Roxy over there, Roxanne Spears, the designer, and the very, very, she's a magician of a designer, and Russell Wasserfall is the photographer. And the three of us just love each other. We love each other and we get each other. And I have a reverence for that sweet, sweet space where I love Roxy, Roxy loves Russell, Russell loves me, I love Russell, I love Roxy. We all just kind of give each other the space to do the things, and we are very good at the stuff that we do. So I have no fear. Roxy's not going to mess with my font. She's going to have a great font. Roxy trusts me to create great food and to make it beautiful on the plate. Russell just does his thing, and Roxy knows how to work with Russell's thing. And so we have... Russell would love that. So we did an amazing thing. Normally when people shoot cookbooks, as I understand it, they have to go to studios, and then there are special people making the food. We literally shot our book in the kitchen in a week. So all the food that we normally make every day, we literally, okay, let's have some of that, put that on the plate here, let's have some of that, put that on the plate. Russell shoots it, and Roxy puts it all together. And So we literally made the food and ate it, and life went on. And we had a short space of time in which to shoot it because people are coming, like masses of people, and there's no kind of artificial light. It's all just the light, and we basically what we, I suppose it was a sort of organic thing that we came to, is that we all kind of got that thing that I was talking about earlier, that one relationship thing, that one connecting thing. And so we kind of subverted all our desires to do to this one thing, to this energy of the people who come, and to this relationship of giving and receiving. And I suppose that helped the book. I think that gave the book its integrity and its truth. So when you see the book and when you come and oh, this is really how it happens, because that's what we were trying to share. And it's been a most amazing experience. I knew that the book would be beautiful because, of course, Roxy and Russell were doing their thing. But I was unprepared for how people were going to take on these recipes. I mean, really take them. Cook them from cover to cover. Cook the recipes from cover to cover. And, the most amazing stories were coming out of it. I was dumbfounded. People were saying to me, I just lost my father, and somebody gave me your book, and I was really so sad, and then I began cooking, and I just can't stop. I just keep cooking, and they basically sort of cooked their way out of grief, and how can a person prepare for that kind of response, It's been an amazing thing, and for me there's been a great freedom in that I've just kind of set it free. And it kind of plays into the whole sort of thing of my life, giving and receiving. So it's this lovely reciprocal thing, I kind of give, and I get all this love back. And I give, and people say, how could you give all these recipes? Are you crazy? How could you give all these things? And I'm like, well, you don't get it when I give it out. I get all this back. It's quite selfish, So, it's been a wonderful experience and a most amazing creative relationship, and I wish that for each of you here at some point in your life to be able to have that relationship where people just set you free to do the thing that you do.
I have a question myself. I remember last time when the Obamas were in the country. I was not. So, right, yeah. I was about to ask, yeah. So I missed the whole vibe. I missed the buzz and everything. I followed it on Twitter and said, damn it. Is there any information you want to share with us? I mean, they're coming tonight, so you're expecting them back in the...
Wouldn't it be such a triumph if they came again? But, I'm just imagining, my BFF, Michelle. Hey, Barack, let's head on over to Woodstock. But I think the thing, I'm going to tell you the whole story, but the thing, and why I think they might not come back to us again, I'm just sorry, they might not. But, is that certainly Michelle Obama, and I've got this feeling about the Obamas too, is they are looking for the opportunity to make the biggest impact in a person's life that they can possibly make. Like the biggest difference. They're not if you are frankly, less a politician's wife, you've got to go to the Mount Nelson or to the waterfront, and it doesn't make a squat of difference where, it doesn't make difference to any of us if you go there. But if you're Michelle Obama and you have that kind of stature and that kind of mindset, you go to Woodstock, where the coolness is, and where there's all this growth and development, and you choose a woman-owned business or a black woman-owned business, and you make a political statement about where you're going. And not only that, you then impact like lots of people. you make a statement about who you are and what you're trying to do. And the moving thing about the whole visit really is that at the time we were just like wildly excited, as you can imagine, you know. I'll tell you about that. But Michelle Obama, she understood the power of her endorsement, you know. She knew exactly what she was doing. You know, we were just like, ah, but she knew exactly what she was doing. And through the whole visit was this great kindness, you know, and this kind of sense of, I want to do this for you. You know, I can close off the main road for 40 minutes and kind of with my guys, because I want to do this for you. That was an amazing thing and still makes me a little bit creepy to think about. But I'll tell you about the day. So we'd had some like working Americans visiting our shop, not touring Americans. You could tell by the haircuts and the shirts. And instead of sort of sitting at the benches and eating, they kind of turned around and were looking at us. And they asked questions like, do you have a back entrance? And would you ever close your shop? And the girls that I work with said, Karen, you know, don't get your hopes up. It's Woodstock. It's a security nightmare. It's never going to happen. Don't worry about it. But Suva, a few days later, we get a call from one of the aides, and they say, Mrs. Obama will be visiting your shop for lunch at 12:30 today. And we just kind of went into overdrive. Now, we couldn't let on, you know, it's like not good form, you know, just to be tweeting and Facebooking, hey, she's coming. So we just silently were cleaning and spiffing up. I called the sweetheart and said, baby, you've got to get over here. You've got to make a playlist now. You've got to help us move this furniture now. We're cleaning and spiffing. Then there was this kind of awkward time around 12 where I was trying to say, do you mind taking your lunch away? We have a bit of a high-profile visitor. Oh, Karen, what's going on? Do you mind taking away? And then we didn't want the shop to be empty because that's the whole vibe, you know, it's like the people. So at some point, like closer to 12, I was going, just stay, take your lunch and just stay. What's going on? Well, they closed the whole main road off, the whole block. Huge guys, you know, like with the goodies in the air. And like had blocked off the whole street. And there were some people in the shop. And then, of course, you know, these huge SUVs, like bigger than South African cars, you know, pull up in the street. Of course, they don't have to worry about parking because they've closed off the road, right? And these huge SUVs go vroom, 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 in front of the shop, you know, like pulling up. And there's kind of like this little moment of silence. And there she arrives. I'm standing in the doorway of the shop, and there's Michelle Obama coming into my shop. And I greeted her, and I kind of did my sort of little tour of what we were making for that day, which was just kind of the normal stuff that we make every day. We had made some effort to sort of move our table so that people could sit on either side. Our little 16-seater shop kind of was squeezing 30 people in that day because it was the chief of staff and the ambassador and the ambassador's wife, you know, the kids, the cousins, her mum, they were all there. And the music went on. Thank you, sweetheart. The music went on, and we were having a little party in there. You know, it was the best vibe. And people who were there said that at one point during my kind of introduction thing, she kind of did a little double take looking at me because I think she may have realized that this is a safe space. You know, I can actually enjoy myself here. And she didn't want to go. You know, they normally have like 30 minutes exactly, and they start herding. You know, the security people start herding. And they were like, weren't wanting to go. They were having a great time, you know. And I can't even remember what we spoke about, but a very kind and generous and gracious person. And what an amazing, amazing experience. And yeah.
Well, thank you. Fantastic. Well then, thank you very much for coming this month. Hope you're coming next month again.
I really enjoyed sharing with you, and I wish each of you well, making beautiful things. And I look forward to seeing you all at my shop. I want to make you all love sandwiches.